centers now, and the first one is Joe Tippmann, the center from the New York Jets. It's a lineman. It's a center that's young. He's super poised to being uh, extremely important, impactful to the Jets team. Another offensive lineman that I think will do well and help make sure that Aaron Rodgers is on the same page. Definitely the run game. He is the leader of the offensive line, so I think Joe Tippmann has shown the ability of being a great leader as well. So overall, Joe Tippmann has a lot of potential for this guy. Right now, Joe Tippmann, 23 years old, 1 year in the league. He's got 3 years, $4.5 million on the contract. Played 16 games, 852 snaps, 8 penalties, 3 sacks allowed. Again, he's only going to get better. It's only his first year that he just played, so he's coming into his second year. I expect great things from the man, and I think the Jets really made a great draft pick with drafting him. So overall, he's in good hands, and he'll be there for a while, and I could see him being a top 10 center very soon. Ethan Pocic. Pocic is a veteran offensive lineman that's been uh, extremely actually pretty impactful for the Cleveland Browns. Definitely a player that's agile, definitely a player that's aggressive, definitely a player that has the ability of making the right blocks for the running backs. Great pass protector. So, yeah, pretty great underrated guy that people don't really know more about, honestly. And so Ethan Pocic, 28 years old, 7 years in the league. He's got 2 years, $12 million in his contract, 15 games played, 999 snaps, 5 penalties, and 1 sack allowed overall. He's a pretty decent player, and definitely they should definitely look towards Ethan Pocic in the future if they really want to have a solid foundation for their offensive line moving forward. They got a lot of key pieces, so they're good. We got Andre James. He's an honorable mention as well. Actually, very underrated. When I look at this Raiders team, I poke fun at it a lot to my friend who's a longtime Raiders fan. But honestly, they got a pretty good thing on the left side, and including the center position, Andre James. Andre James is 27 years old, 6 years in the league, 3 years, $24 million on the deal, 16 games that he played, 963 snaps, 3 penalties, and 4 sacks allowed. He's still young, still can provide more potential up there. I think he could still thrive on his craft and become better. I do believe though he is a solid center for this Raiders team, and I definitely think people should look at him more. Jake Brendel, who's on honorable mention. Um, a great, definitely super overlooked because of this 49ers team that has so much potential, so many stars in it. Their best offensive lineman is a future Hall of Famer, Trent Williams. So Jake Brendel doesn't get much love, but Jake Brendel should get honorable mention. Should be looked at, man. He is a very physical center. He definitely is a pretty established leader, and he's been in the league for a while. His numbers don't lie. You're looking at Jake Brendel, 31 years old, 7 years in the league. He's got 3 years, $11.99 million on the deal. 17 games played, 1,024 snaps, 1 penalty, and 2 sacks allowed. So that enough. It really shows. Yeah, this guy really doesn't get into trouble much, and he is a reliable center at this position in a superstar team. Mention, and this is rarity to have a team as the Cardinals. Just yeah, they are in a rebuilding phase. They do not have a fantastic team for really. There's just so too many holes for them to really become a playoff contending team, and there's a lot of question marks with this team. But a guy that's not a question mark is Hjalte Froholdt, who's a center for the Cardinals, and he's been pretty decent, man, in his really early career. I definitely believe he'll be an anchor for this offensive line moving forward. If they're trying to make playoffs and push to contend, he's going to be a big part of that for sure. Froholdt, 27 years old, 5 years in the league, 1 year, $2.73 million on the deal. So yeah, 17 games played, 1,123 snaps, 8 penalties, 3 sacks allowed. Again, definitely cut off from the penalties. Sacks, hopefully, could be less next year, but this is a solid guy, a big dude, physical presence, and yeah, a guy that you want on your team. So I think him in here, it's a good thing for Arizona. they have players. They do have some players that will develop nicely, and he's developed nicely. So, it's all a matter of timing and how the organization is going to do it. Um, they definitely should continue on a train where they're consistent and bringing in talent, drafting, and all that for them to even back to contention. But overall, they got a guy in here, and he definitely needs to be recognized. On to this list, I gotta have a happy retirement to Jason Kelce, the future Hall of Fame center. He's been doing it forever. Um, he's been a part of this league for a long time. Had some crazy moments, funny moments from him. Definitely, a lot of people might see, oh, it's Travis Kelce's brother. He was here before Travis Kelce, so he does need some respect to his name. You got to give the guy some credit, man. He anchored the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line for years. He is a Philadelphia Eagle for life. I mean, he's made himself well known, and he plays like a guard, but also plays a center position. And tremendous blocker, tremendous guy that's gonna pull and get the necessary blocks for running backs to get wide open holes so they can get a touchdown or first down, key yardage. Yeah, definitely been a great teammate. Great player to watch through the years. And yeah, I mean his illustrious career has ended. Um, but I mean his numbers speak for itself as a Hall of Famer. He got 211 games that he played. He had 12,002 snaps. He had 61 penalties to his name. And in his career, he only allowed 19 sacks. So for that amount of games, only allowed 19 sacks. It's pretty impressive, man. He's a Super Bowl champion. Won a ring with the Eagles back in 2017. Got back to the Super Bowl, lost to the Chiefs in 2022. But I mean, seven-time Pro Bowler, six-time first-team All Pros, including him walking away with a first-team All Pro in his last year of his career. It's crazy. So overall, yeah, he has been super impactful to the Philadelphia Eagles, to the league, and I wish him the best. He's definitely a great center, a great player, and I hope to see him in Canton someday because he really does deserve that. List by naming Eric McCoy as the 10th best center in the league. The Saints have someone here, man. When they drafted him, they had the high potential that he was going to be extremely important to this team. And you know what? I mean, it hasn't not been shown, man. He's been an anchor for this line over here in New Orleans, and yeah, overall he has done his part and been a Pro Bowler, and has achieved the highest of highs. But this team definitely is a team that needs to cherish Eric McCoy, and I mean they did. 26 years old, 5 years in the league. They cherished him because they gave him 4 years, $42.7 million for him on the deal. 17 games played, 1,152 snaps, 8 penalties, and 4 sacks allowed. He earned a Pro Bowl this year. Um, yeah, 4 sacks allowed, 8 penalties isn't pretty, but he played in over 1,000 snaps. He played all his games, and like I said, he was a super big, important piece to that Saints offensive line, who is definitely trying to recreate their offensive line. They've in the past have had crazy great offensive linemen. But I mean, this is the start of it. Eric McCoy is going to be that guy, and he's super young. So yeah, definitely see them, keep improving. Hopefully, they got some salary issues, but they'll be fine. Definitely Eric McCoy, huge piece to this puzzle. We got David Andrews at the number 9 spot. Um, yeah, this New England Patriots organization has a history of, um, drafting and developing future All Pros, Pro Bowlers, and Hall of Famers, offensive linemen. David Andrews is just one of those guys that you need to keep an eye on. He's amazing, dude. He's an amazing right guard or left guard or center. Excuse me, I'm sorry. He's center that has continuously showed consistency, work ethic, and yeah, he's embodying true spirit of being a New England Patriot, man. Strong guy, leader of this offensive line. And yeah, I mean he's been through many years and definitely has won his Super Bowl. So 31 years old, 9 years in the league, 2 years, $12 million left in the deal. He has 17 games played, 1,050 snaps, one penalty, 6 sacks allowed, no Pro Bowl or nothing, but he is a Pro Bowl type player and should be rightfully so in this countdown. So overall, David Andrews has done his thing, been very impactful for this team.